The destruction of the Library of Alexandria is often thought of as one of the greatest human tragedies of all time. Countless works, ancient knowledge lost completely at a time in one horrific event. Now, us modern men think that such an event could never happen now. We covet our information, our knowledge, our art. We would never stoop so low as to destroy our past. We want to preserve it for all future generations. But what if I told you that this idea is wrong, that we are actively forgetting our past, denying our art? Hi gamer girls, my name is Gunty and today I'm going to be talking about game preservation and the important role that piracy plays in preserving all of the fantastic games we've come to know and love. But before we get into that, I have a very small channel here on YouTube. If you could please subscribe, comment, or like this video, it would greatly help me out a lot. All of that is absolutely no cost to you, and it helps me grow and make cool and interesting videos like this. And if you're interested in this kind of stuff, it would benefit you greatly to hit that subscribe button. And with that, I think I'll get right back into it here. Now, I selected today's gameplay for a very specific reason. That reason is that you can no longer buy this game brand new from the developer. It can only be purchased in a used copy at an exorbitant rate. I have a physical copy of this game, and I think I paid probably close to $60 for it. Just the disc, no case, no manual, nothing. $60 for a game that came out, if I can do the mental math correctly here, about 17 years ago for the PS2. You can't buy this game. Bandai is not selling a remastered version. They're not selling a digital version. This is the only way to play the game without emulation, is to buy a $60 version from eBay or Amazon used, or wherever you buy used physical media. That's the only way to get it. The money doesn't go to Bandai. It doesn't go to the original developers. It goes to some scalper who's charging $60, $70 for it. Even if you can get an original physical copy for a reasonable price, you're going to run into a number of different issues with playing the game on original hardware. For one, the disc is a DVD, not a Blu-ray. Modern games come on Blu-ray discs. They're scratch resistant to a degree, but for the most part there's a bunch of treating and protection on the disc that allows it to not get scratched and generally last a whole lot longer. But PS2 discs, GameCube disc, they're incredibly easy to scratch, and over time these scratches are going to happen. Just taking it in and out of the case, over time there's going to be small scrapes and scratches that are going to affect the ability of this game to play. On top of that, the PS2, GameCube, Dreamcast, original Xbox, their optical drives over time eventually stop working. And while yes, you can buy a new optical drive and put it in, or you can buy a new PS2, these options aren't going to be viable for long. I went to my local game shop recently and PlayStation 2 prices have skyrocketed. A couple of years ago, you were able to get a PS2 for roughly $20-ish, $30 maybe. People were giving them away. And now I'm seeing them for hundreds of dollars, $200, $300. I even saw a PS2 for $400, which is insane. And on top of that, you can't hope that these companies that are selling these optical drives are going to be doing it for much longer. There's no way it's profitable to be making a niche part for a console that came out, 22 years ago? It's just not a viable option. That is, unless you emulate the game online using a ROM like I do. This is recorded from my PC, playing the game perfectly fine, 60 FPS, looks beautiful, looks fantastic. There are some issues, but I'm sure if I looked in the configuration files, I'd find a way to get over some of the visual glitches and some of the smaller audio glitches. But for all intents and purposes, this game is completely 100% fully functional, fully operational, fully playable, and it's fantastic. It runs like butter. It's smooth. Sadly, the biggest downside with emulation is the fact that for most of you out there, you're going to have to obtain these ROMs illegally, and that, of course, is a tragedy. It's a travesty. It's a ridiculous law that pirating a game that you cannot buy originally from the developers, it doesn't make any sense. That money's not going to go to anyone. If I go to eBay and buy it, again, it's just going to go to the scalper. None of that money would go to Bandai or Toei or whoever has the distribution rights for this game in this country or whatnot. It's absolutely asinine to think that purchasing it on eBay is any different from just downloading the ROM. There's no money going to the original developer, but at the end of the day, you are still potentially going to be hit with a fine if you are caught doing this. Now here's where I would plug a VPN sponsor if I had one. Hint hint, ExpressVPN, reach out, let's do some. But anyway, there are ways around not getting caught. You can be careful. Please do not commit crimes. I have to say that for legal reasons. I can't tell you all to go commit crimes. But at this point, it is a rather disgusting truth of game preservation that the only way we are realistically going to preserve these games is by committing piracy, and that's just how it's going to be. The only thing we can really hope for now is that these game developers turn a blind eye to the piracy, for them to coexist, the pirates and the publishers, to allow each other symbiotically to exist. The publisher looks away while the pirater allows people to play these games and enjoy this art. And honestly, from the publisher and developer side, I think I would agree with the piraters. I would allow them to do this because it's your life's work. If you're not going to release it yourself and it's going to be lost to time, all that effort, all that work that your team did, all the art you created, the music, all of that will be lost to time, and that doesn't really help anybody in the end. But I just wanted to make this video talking about game preservation. It's one of the things I'm very passionate about. As you can tell, I've made this whole video about it. And I just want to thank you guys for watching. If you like this kind of content and you want to see more, please consider subscribing. Leave a like, leave a comment, even if you want to tell me I'm a jackass and I'm dumb and that this is a stupid video to make and I made a really bad one, even though you've watched to the end here. Go ahead and do that. And with that, I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.